recording.
Hey guys, so I have posted something about respiratory virus and stuff like that, and mentioned about it's not easy to be in the hospital for a couple of days with an infant and also have your husband sick. So this started on the 30th of December. This is Ava, sorry. So it started on December 30th as a common cold, a little bit of runny nose, and that's it. So okay, she has a cold because of the weather. The 31st comes and she started getting off and on fevers, but nothing high, nothing past 98. Then Wednesday, the first comes and it's just getting worse. She's not being herself. She's like more like groggy. I'm like, okay, maybe she just needs to, more liquids and stuff like that. Thank God her appetite never like diminished. The second comes and I started hearing wheezing, like asthma. We don't have asthma in the family. At this point, my husband the day before was feeling really sick. His chest was hurting. This wasn't the first time that he had pneumonia. So we already know the symptoms. So I was like, that same morning, I'm like, you need to go to the hospital. Like, we have other kids that we have to take care of. The baby doesn't, like, she's wheezing out of nowhere. I'm taking her to the doctor. I'll see you later. I took her to the doctor. There, her doctor said it was bronchial RSV. And then the wheezing, it was still there. But it wasn't something that she had to do, like the testing of the nose with the Q-tip, just to get some mucus so they could test it out and really see what it was. So she, she checked her chest, front and back, and was like, yeah, it's just something that she has to fight off. It's a virus. It's bronchial RSV. I'm like, okay. And I told her what I do at home, which is the cool mist humidifier, vapor rub, or bronchina everywhere. Breast milk, literally, like double up on that. And she was still eating her papilla with her fruit, everything. So at this point, I come home. My husband tells me they're going to leave me overnight. This was Thursday, I believe. Friday comes. My husband's still in the hospital. He comes home and he feels a little bit better because they had given him like dos suero. Why I'm getting a brain fart right now, I have no clue. Pero le dieron dos suero and they give him his medicines, antibiotics, blah, blah, blah. Comes home. That Saturday, everybody wakes up, but Ava is breathing faster. She's like, if you see this going in more and the stomach, you can see her ribs or the baby's ribs breathing fast. Just go to the emergency room. That's exactly what we did. We went to the emergency room and they took her in. They checked her out and they were like, listen, her chest is really tight. We need to give her a treatment. And what I mean by treatment, anybody that's out there that has asthma knows is a treatment with the nose and it looks like you're smoking or whatever. So they put that on her. Thank God that they gave her oxygen right away. They gave her oxygen right away. They put the treatment on her nose. All in all, we were there for a couple of hours, checking in on her, making sure that she's okay, making sure that she's, breastfeeding okay. Because then they said, okay, after this, we're going to have to give you, we're going to have to change her, what is it called? We have to change her, her oxygen to a stronger one. I'm like, yo, this shit is crazy. So after the treatment, I gave her last breastfeeding that I could give because the other oxygen was going to be like a heavier flow. So that one had a humidifier, the humidifier and the oxygen at the same time. So it was a heavier flow to her. At this point, like, she was great with everything. They did that IV. They put fluids in her. So since she was on fluids, you can't breastfeed as much because the flow of the oxygen. So they left us there overnight. This was Saturday night. So to make a long story short, we are on day, let me see, 30, 31, 1, 2, 3, 4. On the 4th, which was Saturday, that was already day 6. So the doctor says that the way that the virus works is that it gets worse before it gets better. Since we were already on day 6, we should not be seeing any type of fever. We shouldn't, everything should be decreasing right now. But the coughing it sounded like a barking. It sounded like a chihuahua, the small chihuahuas barking. And then I had read on Pinterest, like, that some infants get croup or crop, whatever, and it's a barking cough. I thought it was that. But then when we went to the doctor, that was her coughing. Then we went to the doctor and they, day 7, still the same oxygen, the heavier oxygen. And they put her on the oxygen machine. They had her all the vital signs, like, whatever hospital they put you in, they tell you how to read the machine, and her level of breathing needs to go. We were safe with 95 and up, or was it 80? If it was lower than 90, obviously the machine will go off, and we would know, like, okay, like, her breathing is not her breathing is still low. So that was Sunday, the whole day with the heavier oxygen. Monday comes along, they were like, okay, her breathing is getting better. We're gonna take her off the oxygen, and we're gonna change her to the wall oxygen. There's a wall oxygen. It looks like it's bubbling up all the time, but that one is more like they're breathing on their own, but not really, because that one's still helping them. So they put her on that, and they would put her to level 5, and then 4, and then 2, and then 1. 1 is the lowest, but they're breathing almost on their own. So that was Monday. Monday was like the testing time. So Monday comes, she was already at level 1. She slept the whole night. The nights that she was there, obviously with the nurses and the doctors coming in and out, she was still sleeping throughout the night, thank God. But being there was just scary, because it's like every time that you would hear the door, you would get up and like try to help them to see if they needed, to check her out or whatever. So on top of that, no, pick her up. Pon la hora. Put her up. Gigi, put her up. Put her up. So on top of all of that, Monday was like the trial time for sácala and bring her to me. Trying to do a video with kids no es fácil, pero no lo tiene que hacer, because I want the information to go out there for parents that have children, and I want you guys to understand, like, a common cold could get worse than what it really is. Don't mind me. Boogers and me are not best friends right now, so whatever. So I want to get this information out there, because it's super important that parents understand why it's super delicate to understand your child's breathing, your child's ups and downs. If you see that your child is like sluggish, doesn't want to eat, doesn't want to drink anything, like, don't be afraid to go to the hospital. Check the temperature, do as much as you can, try to give them liquids, blah, blah. Try as much as you can, but if you see something is wrong, breathing is like really rapid, just take them. So by Monday, it was a testing for the breathing. We were already looking at level 1. So they were like, okay, you know what? We're gonna take her off. Let her take a nap, and then we're gonna take her off to see how her breathing is on her own. So at this point, they have like the little sticker that they wrap around their finger or their toe, and that's gonna give you the oxygen level. So she finally goes to sleep. We get her off the oxygen. So she slept good throughout the night, but her levels kept on like fluctuating, which is okay. I think, I don't know if you guys can hear her. She sounds like a pug, but she's not as congested as before. Now it's going away, thank God. But at that time, at that time, when they took off the oxygen in the morning, the doctor comes and they're like, listen, we saw a lot of fluctuation. There was some points that were 85, 86, 89, but then she will go back to 90, 91, 92, 95, blah, blah, 99, 100. So we're going to put her back on the oxygen. I'm like, listen, I don't care what it is that you do. Just, we want to go home with her at least being, more than 70% herself and better. We just don't want her to go home with all this mucus in her chest and just, a mess. So they finally, the breathing gets regulated. They have a suction tube like this big that you put in their nose, and it sucks out all the mucus. The mucus that was coming out of this little girl was insane. It's like the poop that she takes that she takes, and it just smells like human poop. Well, she is human. Like an adult poop, it's insane. The mucus that was coming out of her mouth, they had to do 2 deep suctions, which is really thin. I don't even have anything that is similar to the thinness of the tube that they put. She had oxygen on. They would put the tube through her nose and suction all of that out. And it's the boogers that is el latigoso, like it just elongates every time that you pull it, pull it with like your hand or whatever. It's long, it's like stretchy. So she would get more of that, but it was through one nostril. So one nostril had more, and then the other one had more. So fine, that was the one time that I was like, oh my God, you have to do something. Like, I want her to be better. So the second time the nurse came in, the best nurse, she comes in and she's like, listen, are you okay if I do a deeper suction? I'm like, go ahead, I'm here to help. So we go in. It's a little scarier because they have to put the tube through your nose and then down through your throat, but not all the way down. Like, it just comes like from here all the way to here, but it sucks out enough that when they're coughing, because when they do that, they sneeze and they cough at the same time, which brings up all the mucus. The little thing sucks it out and it just gets collected. So trust me, seeing my baby go through that it wasn't as hard. It was hard. It was hard to watch. But it's either, do you want your baby to go home or do you want them to suffer? You pick. So at this point, I'm like, you know what? Just do it. We got it done. And then she was back to, playing with her little toys. That's when I knew that she was getting better. The scariest part was seeing her, like, breathing rapid. And it reminded me of my grandmother. May she rest in peace. When she had emphysema, because emphysema, her lungs were very weak and she couldn't, she used to smoke half her life, but she was clogged up. So her breathing, her first asthma attack, that's the way that I saw her. So seeing her like that, I was like, hell nah. Like, no. Like, this is too familiar. We need to just go. I'm trying to answer some of the questions that my friends were asking me. The only advice that I could say is, when your kids get sick, it's okay not to have or not to want people come over to visit. It's okay. As a Hispanic, like, family members, sometimes they don't understand that. I think sometimes friends understand it more, or people that have kids, they understand it and they get it. But sometimes family members, they don't get it and they're like, no, but I'm okay. And I'm like, no, if you were in the hospital visiting someone, trust me, the shit is airborne. You still have that shit, like, on you when you come into the house, and you're not even staying here for long. So you leave and all the shit stays here in my house. Guess what? Everybody gets sick. So the only advice that I could say, if you have kids that are older, even younger, everybody should be washing their hands as soon as they get home. Number 1. My rule in my house, take off everything, warm water, wash your hands, sing happy birthday. That gives you enough time to wash on top, in between your fingers, and under on your palm. wash your face really good, and then you can come and play. But other than that, that's it. When it's really cold outside, just cover yourself up, especially your chest and your head, just everything, the norm. But this was really scary. Like, I don't even think I want this for like my worst enemy. Just to hear like this little cry means the world to us, because when she would cry before, she would cry and then cough, and then she would cry because her chest was hurting. And us as parents, we try our best to alleviate all of that, and sometimes it's not enough. That's why we ran to the hospital. And the hospital that we went to was NYU. They're amazing, amazing. The new children's hospital, the one that has the Dalmatian with the taxi on top, that's the children's hospital. Anybody that's in Manhattan, Bronx, and you guys, whatever it is, and you guys go to NYU, feel like you're at home, because they will take care of you there. I mean, that's where I take my kids, so I have a good experience with them. But other than that, this video was really more informational and to let you guys know what happened. Everybody right now, we're doing better, much better. Her appetite is like 20 times better. She's eating, she's still breastfeeding. My husband, he had pneumonia, so he's on medication, drinking lots of liquids and stuff. Everybody's getting better, thank God. For those that asked me earlier and are keeping us in your prayers, thank you so much. I wouldn't wish this on my enemy, to be honest with you. Like, it's anybody that gets this, it's hard. It's really hard. It's draining. And I'm a type of mom that I keep on going. And then I also found myself that coming back and not being home for 4.5 days and not resting well, I thought I was getting sick. I was like, no. Vitamin C, my tea, my water on point, everything. Because when you come out of the hospital, you come out sick I feel that you come out sick because of the simple fact that you've been around sick people, even your own child. But if you guys have any questions, post them down below. I can get back to them as soon as possible. But thank God we're okay. Right, baby, we're okay? She still has like a little bit of a runny nose, but nothing crazy like before. It wasn't like more of a congestion now. It's more of secretion of whatever's left and a little bit of mucus in the chest. Another thing that they'll teach you like, you know, to pat them on the chest or whatever. Don't try it at home unless you've been to the emergency room and they tell you how to do it. But they teach you a lot there, and they tell you how to like do the post visit. If you need any post visit checkups and what to do at home, they'll let you know. But other than that, I just wanted this to be an informational on bronchial RSV and what's been going on. So yeah, thanks for listening and thanks for watching. Bye.